Yongkang here. I'm a lead cloud native SE of Custom by Veeam, covering the Asia Pacific region. I had over 20 years of experiences heavily involved in the IT. And by now, I'm 24 times multi-cloud certified. I'm a father of 3 lovely kids, and I live in Singapore. So today's topic is about how to protect the ACK cluster on Alibaba Cloud. For those of you who are not aware, ACK stands Alibaba Cloud Container Services for Kubernetes. So here is the agenda for today. So first of all, I will cover how to deploy Jenkins into ACK cluster, and followed by how to install the backup software custom K10. That's the product name. And then I will show you how to back up a Jenkins from our ACK cluster. Last but not least, I will show you how to restore Jenkins from the containers to a separate namespace. So first of all, here is a high level how to install custom K10 on ACK cluster. It's as simple as just one Helm chart installation. So as you can see from the screen, so you run the Helm install followed by K10 custom/K10 and the namespace custom-IO. And then you got all the different settings. So we want to enable the external gateway. We want to leverage the token-based authentication. And I also increased the persistent volume size to 20 gig. And I also specify to use the Ali Cloud disk ESSD. That's the storage class I'm going to use. So basically, that's the one command to install custom K10 on ACK cluster. And after the installation, I will show you how to get the web URL just run the echo command. So with the setting kubectl get the service to get the URL. And from the browser, you can type the URL or copy paste the URL. And you will be asked to enter the token. So the below of the screen, you got 2 commands. So the first command to get the environment variables of the service account secret, and second command to get the exact token code for you to use. Okay, without waiting, let me jump to the web console. So from the Alibaba Cloud console, you can see I got 2 clusters is running. So the cluster which I'm going to use here is the ACK for Yong2. So I click into the cluster here, and from the cluster, first of all, I want to show you how to install from Alibaba Cloud Console, how to install Jenkins software to a separate namespace. So on the left side, you can see under the application category. So I select the Helm, and then from the top right-hand side, click App Catalog. So from here, you can see there is one option called CI/CD. Part of the category, I select the CI/CD. So the first one is the ACK Jenkins. So I click ACK Jenkins, and I select the namespace. So if you don't have a separate namespace, you better create a separate namespace. Otherwise, it will install to other namespace. I forgot to create the namespace. Let me go back to the last screen. So I'll go back to the ACK cluster, the second cluster, go to the namespace. So click create. I will create the namespace called Jenkins. You might want to give a label. I might give the label app Jenkins. Click OK. So the namespace already created. So now I go back to the cluster, click the second cluster, and move down to the screen, applications, Helm, and the app catalog, CI/CD, ACK Jenkins. Now I choose the Jenkins namespace. Click create. So by doing this, we will deploy the Jenkins application to the namespace also called Jenkins. Let's check the status of the deployment. So I go back to the overview and I click my cluster and my second cluster. I will go to the pods to verify if the Jenkins is up running. So right now it's still, loading. I believe it is working on it. So if you want to see the details, you can click View Details. So right now it is showing initialization. Let's wait a few more seconds and see how it goes. Actually, so while we are talking here, you can see the Jenkins is up running now. So the next step I want to show you is, so we already have the cluster running, and we also have the application, in this case, Jenkins application running. So now I want to back up the application. How to back up the application? So I need to install the backup software. In this case, I will install custom K10 backup software. So I go to the cluster and I select the cluster. I go to the cluster information page. What I can do is I want to access the command line. So in this case, I need to log into the Cloud Shell. So you click Open Cloud Shell. It will launch the Cloud Shell here. So within a few seconds, the Cloud Shell will be available. And then I need to copy one command here. That's the one I shared from the PowerPoint slide. So the one command is called helm install. So before I do the installation, I want to also make sure I install to the right namespace. So let me verify if I have the namespace for custom-io get namespace. Yeah, it looks like I already have an empty namespace already created. If you want to check if there is any pod running, so you can run kubectl get pod followed by the namespace. Okay, right now I don't have anything installed here. So I copy the command. So I'm going to install the one command is called helm install. And click End. Oh, actually, I forgot one thing. I need to add the Helm chart. So Helm repo add. The Helm charts I want to use is https charts.custom.io. Sorry, I forgot to include the K10 here. I want to add the custom K10. Custom K10. Let me verify the Helm install Helm repo add command. So if you want to verify, you can go to the docs custom.io. And there is an installation page. From the left side, you can see the install, how to install. So if I click install requirements, you can see the first command you want to add is a Helm repo add custom, and then followed by charts, the URL. I go back. So I do Helm chart, Helm repo add custom. So once I add this, I can run the command again. So I go back, find my command, the Helm install. Yes, that's the command. So once I click the enter, so shortly the installation will be finishing. So in the meantime, while the installation is happening, if you want, you can go back to the UI. Actually, while we are talking here, the installation already finished, but the pods maybe not up running yet. So let's, from the command line, you can run kubectl get pod and followed by the namespace custom-io. Okay, you can see the pods is creating. So if you want to watch, you can include the -w to watch the pod is creating. And in the meantime, you can also verify the pod application, pod status from the UI. So on the left side, under the workloads, click pods, and you can see here, you can filter by namespace. In this case, I want to check the pod status of the custom IO. Select the namespace, and you can see the pods, some of them are already running, some of them are still creating. So let's wait for the job finish. And then in the meantime, I will get the next command ready. So basically, I need to get the URL of the custom service IP. And also I need to extract the token code. So let me refresh again. Yeah, the service is still creating. So it might take 1 minute or two. Let's wait here. And in the meantime, you can verify the volume. So if I click the volume, you can see the persistent volume here. So all the persistent volume which is used by custom are created here. I got a Prometheus server PVC, I got metering PVC, I got login jobs and the catalog PVC. So all of these are bounded. That means the storage layer is working correctly. We just need a little bit more time, wait for the job up running. Now, almost there, we're almost there. I only have few, 1, 2, 3, still pending. Let me do another refresh. I can see the gateway service, actually, it's already running. So you see the gateway here, and there is another gateway. Let me see, where is another gateway? Let me do another refresh. Okay, looks like all the services are up running. Now we need to get the web console IP. So basically, you can either get from a command line, or you can go from the console. Let me probably, again, I will use the command line. So I will go back to the cluster here. I will select the cluster information. I open Cloud Shell again. So now let me confirm. So next step is I need to extract the web URL. So I run a command. It will extract the web URL. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to add the namespace here. Let me add the namespace. -n custom-io. So I get the web URL here. If I do echo again, you can see this is a web console of custom, the backup software URL. So I open another tab. I will copy the URL. So you can see it will ask you the token code to log into the management console. So here is another command. We will extract the token code. I need to come back to the Cloud shell, run another command. So it will return the token code. I copy the token code, go back to custom console, copy and paste the token code. So I can sign in. But when I first sign in, you can see I got a few applications running. And if you want, you can take a quick tour. In this case, I just click no thanks. So you can see I got a couple of applications running here. The one which I'm trying to do the backup is the Jenkins. That's the application we created earlier. So just to summarize, what we did for now, by now, is we installed the Jenkins application in a separate namespace. And we installed the custom K10, the backup software, and all the services are up running. Now I'm going to show you how to back up the Jenkins database. So under the application card, you can see I got a Jenkins running here. So all I need to do is I click create a policy. So by default, I already give a name. If I don't want to do any choice like a backup frequency, we will do every hourly backup. So by default, we do hourly. We keep 24 hourly, keep 4 weekly snapshot, and also 7 yearly snapshot. For daily snapshot, we keep a 7 daily snapshot, and for monthly, we keep a 12 monthly snapshot. If I don't want to do any changes, I just leave it as it is. And also I got the option how we are going to select the backup application. So by default, I already choose the Jenkins namespace, but you can choose any other namespace, or you can even use the star to include everything. Okay, in this case, I only use the Jenkins namespace. That's the application we want to back them up. And we also give you the option to use label-based selection. So for example, I might choose the label, match the label app equal Jenkins. So I'm not going to use the label for now. I just choose the namespace Jenkins. And basically that's it. And with this selection, we're allowed to take the backup. But in the meantime, how it's not safe, right? You take the snapshot using your container storage, but what if my container storage is gone? You actually lose your production data, and also you lose your backup data. So we allow you to choose export. So enable the backup export to some other object storage. In this case, I was using AWS S3, which to me, I think it is more safe. So my source data is running from Alibaba Cloud, but I want to move my data to outside of the Alibaba Cloud. That could be some other customer also have the same concern, but in this case, I leave it as AWS S3. So from the backup configuration point of view, that's all done. If you want to go ahead, you can click create a policy. But before I click create the policy, I want to show you how to create the policy using YAML file. For some people, especially for the developer people, they want to leverage the API. We give you the option. You can create the policy using the API via the kubectl command or kubectl. And also we allow you to easily to integrate with your other automation tools. Okay, so I will go ahead, create the policy. And shortly you can see the policy will be created. Did I forgot to give it the name? Let me have a look. Actually, it could be the storage storage I haven't specified correctly. Let me leave that one for now. I will do the snapshot, take the snapshot of the Jenkins application. I created the policy. Yes, it works. So instead of waiting for the next hour, I can click run once. What it does is we will immediately take on-demand backups. I click run policy. So after I click run policy, you can see the job kicked off from the dashboard. So the job is running right now. And if you want, you can click the policy run here. And from here, you can see what we are doing here is we are going to capture everything from the application. From the application, we selected the Jenkins namespace. We will capture your workload. We know you're running Jenkins, right? And we also capture every one of the configuration. I will show you shortly. Not only we capture the configuration, we also capture the application actual data, all the components. For example, the configure maps, the secrets, the services, the service account, the persistent volumes. Also, everything running from all that particular namespace will be captured. So in case something happen with your original namespace, or somebody accidentally deleted a secret, we allow you to restore the whole application. Or you can also restore individual resource. It could be somebody accidentally deleted the secrets. We allow it to granularly recover the individual secrets. Okay, let's wait the job finish. But while we are waiting here, so you can see here is a screen highlights all the artifacts we backed up. So you got a namespace, you got secrets, you got all the configure maps, you got all the services, you got all the service accounts, storage class, all the deployments, all the persistent volumes. Literally everything from that particular namespace was backed up. So now you can see the backup job was completed successfully. So that completes the first part, how to back up the Jenkins application running inside your containers, which is running on the ACK cluster of Alibaba Cloud. So I got the backup jobs completed. Now I will show you how to restore. So before I do the restore, let me remove I will deliberately delete the namespace. And then I will show you how to do the restore. Actually, let me make it easier. So instead of I delete the original namespace, I go back to the applications. From here, you can see now it's showing compliant with policy because I already have the backup policy applied. And then I also got the backup jobs running here. So that means it's in compliance. And I can see I got one restore points here. If I click the restore points, that will give you the options how you are going to restore. There are multiple different use cases here. So we allow you to do the in-place restore, but most likely you probably prefer to restore to a separate namespace, or maybe your production system, they're running into some of the issues, but you don't want to try troubleshooting from the production namespace. So allow you to create a new namespace. Let me call it Jenkins clone. So I click the create the namespace, and there are some additional options. I'm not going to talk about too much here. And I move down to the bottom of the screen. You can see all the artifacts listed here. By default, we selected all of them. But if you want to, maybe somebody deleted a secret, we allow you to just take the secret and do the restoration. Okay, that's how we allow it to do the granular restore. So for this particular restoration, I just select all of these and I click restore. So shortly you can see, if you go to the dashboard, you can see the job kicked off and it is up running right now. And it might take 1 minute or two. And while we're running, the restore job is running, you can see, you can click the job, you can view the details on the right-hand side. So you can see here is what we are running. And if you like, you can run the keyboard command here. From the command line, you can also monitor the job status. Okay, this is a command. You can copy, you can paste to the command line, you can verify from a command line. So while we're talking here, you can see all the job already finished. The restore job already finished. What we restored here is we restore everything back to not to the original namespace. We created a new namespace. How to verify? So if I click applications card again, you can see a new namespace created. Okay. And let me just show you one more time from the command line. I go back to the console here. If I do the kubectl get namespace, you can see now in addition to the original Jenkins namespace, we also have a new namespace called Jenkins clone. It was created 2 minutes ago. And if I want to verify the port status, you can run the command kubectl get the port and the namespace Jenkins clone. And the service is also up running now. Okay, that's what I want to show you this time. So basically we covered how to not only run the backup and also showed you how to restore the whole application to a different namespace. Okay, that basically completes the demo for today. Thank you very much. And on the screen, you can see I got my email address, I got my LinkedIn address, and I also got my Twitter account. Feel free to connect me. Thank you again. Bye.